A bitter standoff between the family of former Zambian President Edgar Lungu and President Hakainde Hichilema's government continues. The two sides are locked in a heated dispute over the late leader's burial arrangements. The High Court in Pretoria last week halted funeral plans after the Zambian government launched a legal bid to block the ceremony. Weeks after his death on June 5, Lungu's final resting place remains unresolved. Cornelius Mweetwa is the Minister of Information and Media in Zambia and joins us now via video link. Minister Mweetwa, thank you so much for making time for us. Good evening.
Good evening, Clement, and thank you for having me on the program.
So, since the court ruling, when you successfully interdicted those funeral plans, have you, as the Zambian government, had any meetings with the former president's family to try and find some common ground?
Well, I would like to place on record here that at that time of that decision by the courts, the government for the Republic of Zambia has moved on in line with the desires of the people of Zambia, and also, I believe, the people of the region, particularly also the people of South Africa, as represented by the two ministers of South Africa, the minister in the office of the presidency and the foreign affairs minister, who expressed their desire that this matter be resolved expeditiously and amicably, taking advantage of this window of opportunity that has been created by this court action, whose return date is 4th of August 2025. The government of the Republic of Zambia, acting through the Attorney General, who is a government lawyer, and through their lawyers in South Africa, has commenced correspondence between the two parties by way of the two parties' lawyers beginning to exchange communication with a view to having this matter settled ex curia in a manner that is amicable and expeditious and in line with the wishes of the people of Zambia, the majority of them, and the desires of the government of the Republic of Zambia by President Hakainde Hichilema.
What are you willing to compromise on as the government of Zambia, as you say that discussions will begin with various parties so that the matter can be resolved expeditiously in an amicable manner, but the family still to be standing on their position that if ever they would even agree for the former Zambian president to be buried in Zambia, they wouldn't want President Hichilema to preside over the funeral. Is that something you're willing to compromise on as the Zambian government, or is that a red line that you're not willing to cross?
Well, for now, we've opened a new chapter, a discourse surrounding this particular impasse. And we do believe that this whole transaction process has and will and is bound to assume a new complexion going forward, given the views of the citizens of Zambia, the views of the leadership, for Zambia, their desires that the former president for the Republic of Zambia be buried home in line with the precedents and tradition that we have set ourselves, like the 5 former presidents of Zambia who have passed on, have all been buried at the presidential burial site, which is an important place for us as citizens for Zambia, given its present and historical importance going forward as a symbol of national identity and unity going forward. So regarding the question of a particular demand, presently we hold the view that that will be subject of discussion, given that we as government now are pushing in the direction of alternative dispute resolution mechanism, and correspondences have already been exchanged as between the two parties' lawyers, signifying commencement of a new process, which it is hoped can bring this matter finality and closure before the court can return to its adjudication, something we believe is going to give more integrity and credibility that as a people, when confronted with a problem, we are capable of analyzing that problem in terms of prescribing solutions that should be as a result of a convergence of consensus as a people, and not just the court prescribing what they believe is right to us, notwithstanding that presently is also still in force.
Yeah. So what was the, because from what I've picked up, at least from my understanding from the family side, is
after embarrassing the nation of Zambia by taking the widow and her children, Mama Esther Lungu and the rest of the family members, to court in South Africa with regards to stopping the burial, this is when the government has realized that they can actually settle things out of court. I know when I shared yesterday, people were expressing to say, oh, the government applied because they wanted to have time to negotiate. No, it's not about that. They have been told that they will lose the case despite having 4 lawyers. You see, this is what happens when you're unadvisable. You just do things how you want to do things. Anyway, we are watching Tule Tambatawa. Let's see how this case will come out when the court rules. I'll say this again. South Africa is a first world country, and they will make sure that the family receives justice. There is nothing like boma ni boma. For those of you who are even, being proud instead of being humble, we work together. You are saying even in the comments, boma ni boma. Boma ni boma has backfired.